Alrighty. So, now that we are back with our second episode, I feel like I need to apologize to everyone because we never actually explained what the show premise was. We we literally just started last time and just went with it. So the idea of the In Retrospect podcast and channel in its entirety is us three decide on a game together in a fair way, i.e., a wheel that Google pulls up. We spin it, pick the game, and then we each individually play it, and in a book club style format, come together and talk about our feelings, where we've gotten at the time. Uh, Pretty much as we talk about where we've gotten to and how we feel about the thing as we go through it. Now, with Dark Souls 3 as the first one, probably not the greatest first game for everyone here. Just
No.
because, yeah, definitely rigged. Definitely rigged. But now that we've gotten the premise out of the way, and we had last week was mainly issues with mechanics from fajon because this is his first time through a Souls game and not Elden Ring. A real ass
I
Souls game that doesn't have any of like the I don't want to call it hand holding, but like the
improvements.
the quality of life improvements that have happened. And Alex's this is his second run. This is his second real attempt at the game, I would say, because you got to Aldrich, and I can say that name now because we all know who that is. You got to Aldrich and then stopped.
Who's Aldrich?
All right.
I thought Aldrich.
I can't remember the
was
name.
a lady.
I'm terrible at names.
No,
so,
you're good. Well, before we get into Fajon thinking Aldrich was a lady, we can start from the top down. So Alex, Fajon, then myself, and get to where. Let's just see, where did everybody end last time they were playing the game? What was the last boss you fought? What was the last zone you made it to? Alex, we will start at the top.
Oh yeah, I didn't get the Aldrich yet.
Okay, but what'd you get to? Like, who'd you fight?
The last time I had like a long session, I got from I beat the hardest boss in the game, Abyss Watchers.
Okay, you're right, you're right. All right, yeah, yeah. Abyss Watchers, hardest boss in the game for sure, for sure.
All right, and then I went through the castle,
Through the
killed
castle.
that giant, which I'm gonna have words for later.
Killed the
And-
giant.
and
Oh,
I
you mean the
killed
church?
A bunch of I
Okay.
cleared out the church,
Okay.
and I don't remember where I left off after that.
Okay.
I think I left it off right around there.
Okay, so you got to Deacons of the Deep and beat the Deacons of the Deep.
Yes.
Best fight in the game. Fucking Fajon's favorite
Fucking-
fight. I will say, as a short aside, I forgot how many like not ad fights there were in this game, boss fights, but how many boss fights had more than one enemy at a time.
Thank you.
There's way more than I
There are a
remember.
lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot,
Yeah.
and
Way too many.
we can definitely
These
talk
bosses
about
are
that.
bitches, so I'm gonna say.
Okay, well let's see where you get after when you make it to the point after Aldrich, then you can come talk to me. Because Fajon, you had to actually start playing the game after Aldrich.
Yeah.
Because
So,
where did you get to real fast?
I have technically beaten the whole game.
Base game.
I have
Base
the base game. I still have, from my knowledge, 2 bosses that I believe. One is DLC. One of which is I haven't fought the Nameless King. Well, I fought him, but it's kind of working
Haven't
my
been-
ass. I don't do well with dragons, and I do know.
Wait, sorry.
Gale.
You mean you made it to the OG Aura farmer, Nameless King?
Yeah, the original.
OG.
No Sun Jinwoo from Solo Leveling. No, who
Let's
we got Piccolo from Dragon Ball, just standing on top of a pole while the wind blows when there's no wind. With the original Aura farmer, the Nameless King.
I will
Just
say, Alex,
walking towards
it
me.
was pretty funny when because he was streaming in the Discord and I was watching him. He got to Nameless King and I the concept of an aura farmer is never in my mind up front. So when I see
Is
the
this where the zoomer comes in, man?
yeah, exactly. It's good we have him. So it's when the nameless king like creates his own explosion to create an updraft to then pose. Boss fights start with him, and then he slowly walks at you, and it's like,
Yeah, it's
okay,
like,
Yeah,
what
that's
is
the best
okay,
that?
horror farm thing
okay.
ever.
It's so good. It was so good though.
That was the or for that thing.
But
But
to clear up, actually, so Fajon, you got through base game all
mhm.
bosses except for Nameless King.
Yes.
You have not beaten Nameless King, and then you beat the first DLC. You beat Ashes of Ariandel.
Uh-huh. And I do know that I believe his name is Gale exists in the second DLC. I
That's the fucking guy right there.
I do
Oh
know
my
he
god, he's
exists.
so cool.
Um and I haven't gotten to him. I just know he exists. The only reason I haven't gotten to him because I got kind of lost, like traversing the area, and that the big flying thing. I don't know what it's called. Keep shooting me with it's like it's a flying thing that shoots like light beams down at you.
Oh, are
Or you're
you
trying
in
to
the
just
DLC?
yeah
Oh, you started it. Oh, yeah, you're dealing with the
yeah I started
angels. Oh,
yeah
Ah.
that was kind of annoying and it killed me like 3 times back to back while trying to traverse the area. So I was like, yeah, I think that's
okay.
enough.
Yeah, there's
Because I
what
will say I fought like 3 bosses that day and I was tired.
fair enough, but I will just say as an opener here, um there is a way to get rid of those.
Oh,
If so, you remember that first one you encounter where you make the drop and then you see it out in the distance?
yeah.
Okay. Go back to that one and look around each zone and you should find the thing that's causing them.
Okay.
And if we want, we can talk about it later to get rid of that. And same with Alex, because those things make wanting to explore those zones a nightmare and not fun.
Yeah.
I
I let 60K souls and died. I
Yep.
was not
You weren't gonna get a level anyway.
I wasn't, but
Yeah.
um
But I will say,
but
so
yeah.
to conclude with everyone's placement, I beat the game and I beat all the DLCs and I did all the bosses. So there's that. Also, Fajon, for your own reference, in the second DLC, there are there is an optional boss in that DLC you can do, much like the wolf from
Okay.
Ashes, but it's a real ass fight, and you might want to just come back to that after beating the DLC boss.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
uh,
it's not like the funnest fight in the world, and it takes a fucking minute, but you can do it.
okay.
Yeah,
we believe in you.
yeah. I mean, you've beaten everyone else, so
Yeah. So what do we want to start talking about now that we've covered
I
where
think
everybody else
I think
everybody's at?
again we'll start from the top and go down. Like so, Alex, having
Mhm.
this be your quote unquote second real run, like
I was really considered as my first real
okay, you would consider it first run. What what are your feelings as like actually playing it for real for real? Well, like, are you
run.
having any like mechanical issues? Because you didn't really play Elden Ring, so you don't have like as
Yeah,
much
yeah.
not indoctrination. That's not what the
I'm
fuck.
I'm a fake Souls player. Let's just put it that way.
Right,
That's the best way to put it.
right. But you don't have the experience Feijão has of getting used to quality of life improvements and then going backwards. Like you haven't experienced the niceties that is
Yeah.
Steak of
So
Americas
uh,
or like checkpoints in general.
What's a stake of America?
Exactly.
exactly. All right. I'm gonna give you an example. You know how if you lose to a boss in Dark Souls 3, you have to run all the way back to that boss?
Yeah.
Nope.
In Elden Ring, if you die to a boss, there's a little statue right outside the boss door where it's like, hey, you can go ahead and respawn and try to fight him again right here. Or you can go back, or you can choose to leave, and then maybe you can decide. Maybe, and if usually if you're choosing to leave, you're going to like change equipment or something like that. But like, it's not like it's like Dark Souls is like, yeah, you die, you gotta walk your ass all the way
Yeah.
back here.
A
But Elden Ring is like, yeah, you
a
it kind of
steak
makes
of
it less jarring.
A steak of America is a soft bonfire. There's
Okay.
nothing to sit at. You can't upgrade anything or like fast travel from that spot, but you can respawn there and that's really it.
Yeah.
It's a check. It is a literal classic checkpoint.
Gotcha.
That's more or less what a Steak America is, and it is probably one of the greatest quality of life improvements made.
I think the only ones I think it's a few boss fights in Elden Ring
Mhm.
where it's like you
Ren-
don't really have a state of. I know. Oh, what's the dog name? I forgot. He gave
Red
me
Wolf or
so much
Radagon.
trouble. No, 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 not him. Well, he's one of them. But Malekith. I think that's how you say it. Malek.
You said Red Dog?
No, no. He's one of the dogs. He uses a sword. It shoots the. It's like the red and black. It's like I think it's Malekith. He has the black. It's like he's
Oh,
like a
oh, the Beast Clergyman.
yeah.
Yeah, Malekith.
He
Yeah,
is
Black Blade.
yeah. So he
Big
t-
ups.
he doesn't really have one.
Nope.
Uh, but
But
it's not
he only has one enemy in his
in
path, and
front
you
of
can
him.
get rid
Once
of
you
that.
kill him,
Yeah,
yeah. Once you kill him, you don't have to worry about him being there anymore.
yeah, it's a
And
unique enemy.
the grace is literally like right around the corner.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like a few enemies in there, but it's not like if you die, you have to go all the way back to the bonfire, for example, and kill everything on the way, or just avoid it and not get hit by it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, Alex, to go on that tangent, but
So
like,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm sorry about that, Alex. There you
the lack of familiarity with quality improvement from Elden Ring, like, has not tainted your perception
go.
of DS3, which is nice, but at the same time, it's like, how do you feel about having to do these boss runs, or have you had to do any? Like, have you just been crushing it?
I wouldn't say I've been crushing it. I've definitely died a couple times.
Hmm.
Like the Crystal Sage pissed me off just because all that bullshit they can do.
Yeah,
Or like when they spawn
Oh.
like the clones and
Mhm.
they're just getting blasted from every direction. I'm like, I'm too big for this.
yeah, it's not yeah, that fight for sure is not. Yeah, yeah,
It's not great.
I think there's one too many fights that have more than one enemy going on at a time. I think that is a
Yeah.
problem, and I think that's a fair problem for sure.
My thing is like with some of the boss fights in this game, they have some good ones,
Mhm.
and then
I will
like
Yeah,
I
let's be
feel
honest,
so
Crystal Sage is
lackluster.
trash, and
Yeah.
so is Deacons of the Deep.
yes.
Yeah.
I think all the good fights are absolutely backloaded. Like all the ones
Yeah.
that like will be like that's a memorable fight, or that's a fight that like I can like get behind, is they're all definitely backloaded.
Well, it is
I
one
feel
that
like yeah.
you said was gimmicky, but I thought was really well done. And
Go
that
on.
was when you get to I
Yorm.
believe it's Dragon's Peak. You know that
Oh.
Wyvern where the bell is,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. You do the drop
I
track.
You
yeah.
told me it was gimmicky, but I actually like that whole concept of you having a bone rush all the way there and then jump down. I thought that was really cool. Honestly.
Oh yeah, but like that's why I call it a gimmick fight. It's like with Yorm. Yorm is not a real boss fight.
Yeah.
Yorm is
No.
get the
You
Storm
get his
Ruler
butt,
and
and it's
hit
gonna do just enough damage.
do the shit.
Just don't suck.
A little bit. Just roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say Ooh, sorry, Alex, go on. Any other feelings, any other hard feelings that you have right off the bat about like the game?
Not really. Like no really hard feelings.
Mm.
I'm just currently trying to find Horace and where the hell he's hiding at right now.
Who?
Horace.
Horse.
Basically, where our gameplay is showing is where I'm.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm literally in that spot right now. I just found.
Well, stop
his
cheating.
location.
Don't watch.
I'm not really watching. If I look at that, I'm dead.
Yeah, it's true. No, he's I can show you later. I can tell you. That's not a big deal. It also depends on what ending you want to go for.
Oh god, there's endings.
There's like 5 endings
Why is there 5 endings?
because it's base ending, which is just you go Link the Fire. There's the ending where you become Lord of Hollows. There's usurping the fire. And the usurping the fire has 2 variations, like the base version and then the other one. And there's another, I think there's a 5th ending, but I don't remember what it is. Those are the 4 that are off the top of my head. And that is, there's a bunch of different endings, and I'm sure you didn't meet Yol.
Yol?
Yol of Londor.
Oh, that little hermit crab looking fucker.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I got him.
you got him.
I
Oh
remembered him.
Oh shit. So
I didn't.
you've
I
been getting
didn't.
your free levels?
I didn't let him touch me. If that's
Oh,
what you asked.
well then you're not gonna get. Then you've locked yourself out of one ending basically.
Which ending? Did you super flame?
No, Lord of Hollows.
Oh,
Yeah,
bitch.
he's playing. He's playing. But
This fucking skeleton just staring
oh
at me.
yeah, oh yeah,
He
the
shot me with an
catacombs have
arrow.
skeletons. It's weird.
Yeah, but the thing is, he shot me once. I turned to look at him. He's just staring at me.
He's like,
not
"What's
doing
up?
Anything.
Do something."
It's essentially that. I just have a big ass arrow sticking out my back, and I'm looking
Correct.
at him.
Correct. Yeah, this area.
He's like, turn around, I'll shoot you in the back.
But let's see. So no harsh feelings so far.
Not really. My thing is just like the game. Like I said, fake Souls player, but the game Dark Souls 3 already feels familiar to me.
Yeah. You
Like-
you have touched a lot of Souls games,
not
but
finished.
a lot of the more recent ones.
I guess
Souls,
you could
right?
say that.
Yeah, you played.
Fuck.
You touched Elden
I
Ring.
turn around and immediately. God. I turn around and immediately get shot.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, you played a little bit of Elden Ring. You've touched Bloodborne, which is more of a influence on DS3 in terms of like speed. Like the game's just faster because of Bloodborne and how popular that was.
I did play Bloodborne.
Mhm.
I got pretty far in it, but I think at a certain point I just ended up getting rid of my PS4 entirely just because.
You weren't using it, yeah.
Actually, no, it was my sister's boyfriend's. I started playing it, and then
Ah,
he skedaddled.
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes it hard to continue.
And then I got PS4 Pro, played half of Persona 5 original, and then I said I don't use this thing and sold it.
Yep. Fun fact,
Pers-
everyone, if a Persona game comes out, never buy it on release because the better version comes out. I know they said they're not. Atlas isn't gonna do that anymore. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I think they said they're gonna do like DLC though, so like you can buy the base game and then get the upgrade DLC or whatever the shit.
Yeah, what? Why do they do that? Why
'Cause
can't
they're
they just make it a
assholes.
DLC upgrade.
They-
Like, oh, buy the entire game.
They're sons of bitches. They were sons of bitches. They've improved a little bit, slightly.
That's too soon to tell.
Yeah, but moving on to fajon. What are your feelings now, having beaten the base game and beaten a DLC, bought a lot of the optional fights?
I
It's not good. It's not
and
good saying.
it's a lot. I'm probably about to be public enemy #1 when I say this
Oh, I
in
doubt
reference to
it.
Dark Souls 3. But again, coming from Elden Ring and playing this,
Hmm.
there
Crash.
was a lot that felt lackluster.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
Um,
Okay. I think I know. I think I get where you're going, but continue.
Not in the sense that the game was necessarily bad, but I can tell that there was a clear improvement
Yeah.
on what they wanted players' experiences to be. For example, lore. A lot of the lore stuff
Okay.
you don't understand. Like a lot of
okay,
the
no,
lore stuff,
like,
you have to
Well, now we're going down a slippery slope now.
wait. Listen me out.
I'm
A
gonna let
lot
him
of the
cook.
lore s- a lot of the lore stuff. It's like you have to. Okay, so you know how you have the guys on YouTube that do the video essays on why such and such character is such and such way they are in
Yeah.
XYZ game.
Yeah.
It seems like you have to do that yourself, and while playing Dark Souls, and which is cool, I guess, but it leaves a sour taste in my mouth because I like stories, and I like RPG games like that, and I like playing through stories, and the fact of that the only real thing I knew for majority of this is that my only and this is part of why like you said I wasn't exploring. I guess it's like partially due to like you saying I wasn't exploring enough. But even still, I feel like a lot of the my experience through the game was okay. You know you have to kill big bad boss. Just fight everything until you get to final boss. That's
Okay,
all. That's your
okay,
only job.
okay. No, no, no. I have to stop you on that one. Okay, here's the thing, Fajon, and I think this
Uh,
is the most important thing to consider in this conversation. You're starting at the end of a trilogy.
I know.
Like
I'm
the
not.
build up from 1 2 to 3 is an important part of the conversation, mainly because Dark Souls 3 is like an homage game in so many ways. Like
I remember you telling me that.
I bet when you walked up the steps at Anne Orlando, you didn't feel shit. But for
I
some
not a thing.
wanna know why? Because Anne Orlando is a place in Dark Souls 1 that you go to.
See, that's not. That's
And that's therein lies the problem. Like the Anne Orlando, seeing the Silver Knights again, their archers on the climb up. That's a reference to Dark Souls 1 as well. That fucking section. There's in the Ring City DLC when you get to the ruins of Earthen Peak. Earthen
mhm.
Peak was an area in DS2.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, okay, I get we're just going around to all these different zones, all these different areas built on top of one another. It's all of the Stormbringer is from fucking Demon Souls. It's a sword from Demon Souls that is described as like it was the sword you used in a gimmick fight in Demon Souls that has just moved forward.
Okay.
Aldrich is eating the body of a boss from DS1. Wanna know why Aldrich looked like a woman to you? Because that boss in DS1 was raised as a girl because of the implication of the dark sun, which is the moon.
Oh.
There's and I think I don't know, do you read a lot of like item descriptions when you pick up stuff? Like did
When
you
you told me, I wasn't originally, but when you told me, I started going back and reading some of them,
Mhm.
and a few of them I kind of caught on, but like I would say a majority was still like up in the air,
Yeah.
and I was like, I have no prior
No,
knowledge to
yeah.
what the fuck this thing is talking about.
And like I'm raising my voice. I'm not mad at you. This is not your fault.
It's
It
not your fault.
it can't be your fault because we only had DS3 on the list and we spun the wheel. Like
Okay,
it
true,
is in
true.
no way on you, but like these issues are solved if you had played previous games. But
Okay,
that's not your fault to be upset at it. But I think a big thing is like sitting down and reading item descriptions on spells, weapons, fucking
that's
keys.
fucking boring.
Yeah, but that's where the plot is in all these games. Even in Elden Ring, like the majority of the plot is in item descriptions.
Yeah.
So I do understand what you're saying from that,
But
but
there it is.
it, I don't know. It still felt like the world building in general wasn't as good to me personally. And
Yeah, yeah,
again, Elden Ring is a newer game, more fleshed out.
yeah. I will
But
say.
like so
Oh, go on.
so for example, when you first get to the, maybe it's not the first time you get to the round table hole, maybe it's like the second when he's in the library already. But Gideon, when
Yeah.
you go after you feed, I think,
He just tells you the lore of each character.
yeah, he tells you who they are.
Yeah.
He's like, and then after that, you like, oh, such and such said something about this play. Anything, and it's like it gives me it kind of builds up. Like when I find those weapons
Mm.
or those items, or like I fight that person, and I'm like, for example, I don't remember exactly what he said for Radon, but long
Badass
story
super
short, he said
beast.
Radon is the shit.
Yeah, a little bit.
When I went to fight Radon, I see why he said Radon was the shit.
Yeah.
So when I get these items, I start reading. I'm like, oh, this armor. Oh, this is armor. It talks about his horse, and you guys you start reading, you learn about this character that you heard of was a fucking badass.
Yeah. I will say the biggest thing with DS3 in terms of this specifically is so in DS1 where the concept first comes into place, like where you learn the creation myth of the world,
Yeah.
the linking the fire, anybody could do it. Anyone could link the fire, but you had to get there. So the idea that you were facing people in DS3 anyway, specifically, you're fighting bosses who did link the fire. You're fighting old world badasses who beat their own games, woke up, and then said, that shit sucked, and I'm not doing it again. And that's where your character comes in. And there's a lot of like the actual like the villain of DS3, you did fight him, and it was Pontiff Sullivan.
Why was he the villain?
Exactly. So in a lot of his item descriptions, it's implied that he had a lot more info on like the world and like what was going on in terms of like how linking the fire worked and all that. And
Yeah.
Prince Lothric,
Okay.
who you fought, he was supposedly raised to be someone who was gonna go link the fire, but then he was like, I don't want to do it. He didn't want to do it because Pontiff Sullivan convinced one of the new people who was supposed to go link the fire to not do it. And he sort of
Okay.
set into motion all this stuff of like, because Lothric didn't do it,
Nobody else wanted to do it.
well, no, so because Lothric did it, the fire, like the fire is like kind of like its own force of nature in the world. Like it has powers, but it's not a person. Brought back the people who did it before. But the people who did it before were like, that sucks shit. I don't want to do it again. And so the fire was like, fuck. Well, I don't want this to. I need somebody to come back here and light me up again.
Okay.
Just get randos who tried but didn't even like make it that far.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're one of those randos, but
Yes.
if you make it, you make it.
Yeah, it just depends on where you what ending you pick is where your story really ends.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing with so like this is absolutely the culmination of like a lot of different games and
Into
DS.
one.
Yeah, or yeah, the culmination of like ideas throughout a series culminating into the finale of a trilogy.
Okay.
Like when you get to the Ring City and if you start reading items there, like the implication of what the Ring City is not going to hit as hard. But like you're going to read item descriptions it's like this is the kingdom of humanity and that's the biggest fucking deal you've ever heard in your life. Because humans are technically like the carriers of darkness in in the world of Dark Souls. Humanity is darkness.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. In DS1, you literally have an item in your inventory called humanity and it's a little black like white dotted eyed figure that you consume to make the bonfire bigger.
Oh.
There's a lot happening that like we just didn't start with because this is just where we decided to begin. And
Okay.
I mean even if we go backwards, like I think if we did end up going backwards, whoever fucking knows when that will happen because of the wheel. We
Why when we do? Likely when they do remakes.
yeah,
Maybe
it
not.
may be. It's just when we hit if we hit DS1, DS1 has a lot more ties to DS3. DS2 is kind of weird. Uh if you play DS1, you'll hit a point where you'll see something or like experience something and go, "Oh, that's what the fuck? That's kind of weird."
Okay.
Was that always a
Oh.
thing?
Oh yeah, pretty much. Was that always a thing? But I think that's the
Oh.
biggest thing.
Now, moving on from that,
Mm-hmm.
from the world feeling lackluster to me, but it's not really my
Not your
fault.
fault. Not your fault.
Uh, Jumping back on some things I heard Outlet says.
Hmm.
This is something I said before, so I'm not going to stay on it too long. all these goddamn like
Multi-enemy
it's
bosses.
okay with these boss fights.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Majority of these boss fights felt half-ass.
I
To an
think
extent.
that's a fair statement for the front of the game. I think the back end of the
front.
I think the back like like the front like the bosses you
I know.
see like
Yeah.
first.
So I feel like majority of the bosses I fought for a while. Most of these bosses were half-ass. They were filler that
Hmm.
just were just added to try to move a needle along a point, and I had no real feeling behind them other than them just being annoying. Sage, Crystal Sage, wasn't even a difficult because I played the game backwards. We're gonna get to that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, your boss
um,
order was fucked.
Crystal Sage wasn't that memorable. She was just annoying.
Yeah.
Deacons of the Deep, it wasn't hard. I could see what needed to be done. It was just like whack a mole until the health bar is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Abyss Watchers, he did have aura, but
Yeah, remember when he
even
posed at
that,
you at the beginning? He was like crossed his
yeah,
arm with the knife. That shit was sick.
yeah, even he had aura, but even his boss fight was like, eh. Now the second half of the now going towards like the second half back end part of the game, I don't know if they were like, and I feel like if I would have played this, and in a setting where it was like we weren't doing this for a podcast,
You probably would have stopped.
that first half probably would have just killed the game for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I wouldn't, because I know that you enjoyed the game and that you beat through it, and you told, and like you literally told me that it got better and there were less of those fights like, as the game went on.
Yeah.
But if I would have went in this blind, try to play it by myself, I probably would have dropped it around Bling, Wilmer,
Oh, Walner.
Scaling. Yeah, well, I probably would have dropped it around.
I like
I'm
that
just,
I like that you called him the
like,
name I call him.
yeah, Bling.
Miss Bling
But
Supreme.
because it does, it didn't feel like I don't want to say love and passion because I'm pretty sure there's people that worked really hard on this,
Right.
and I don't want to discredit their work, but it felt like whoever designed, I guess, the storyboard for this was like, save all the good shit for last.
Yeah. No, I
And-
definitely. So I will say, actually, I did have on my little notes is actually talking about boss variety because I think Elden Ring is probably the greatest point to that's against it in terms of just what you're coming from. Like, I hear you on the front on like Crystal Sage and Deacons of the Deep. And Walnir a little bit. I have less issues with Walnir, but I still don't think it's a good boss fight. Like Elden Ring.
Well,
Go on,
Wilner started. I thought Wilner,
Walnir.
the way he, I don't know how to say his name. I'm just calling
Walnir.
him Bling. The way he came from the darkness,
Yeah,
I
Kinda sick.
thought that was gonna be an amazing, beautiful boss fight, but it wasn't. It was just
Yeah.
smack the rings and try not to die to his little skeleton things. And something that you told me you didn't know. If you go too far back to this wall and he does that attack, you're just dead. He's either gonna breathe on you or gonna walk into the darkness and you're dead.
yeah. I didn't know the darkness killed you. That was definitely news to me.
Oh, you
Like
did?
there were.
Sorry, Alex, go.
Wait, what happened?
No, I was surprised you didn't know that.
I
Oh,
I
no, it
I,
was like
I never went that far back. I don't know.
it was. I never
Alright, we got
intentionally
balls,
went
we
that
get it.
far. I never intentionally went that far back, but it was like
No, yeah, but
I think it took me about 5 or 6 tries to beat him. I would say half of those.
we're not to
What
him.
do you mean?
Well, sorry, I think I know where you're going with it. Where it's like I
Yeah,
died.
it wasn't
I
because yeah.
it wasn't the boss beating me. It
It was
was
like I'm just fucked. I'm like
information. Yeah.
It was like 3 6 and Isaiah was like, yeah, you're just Isaiah just straight up told me that you're just dead if that happens. It was like times where I'm like pushed up, and it wasn't. And I was purposely trying to keep him back, but
Yeah.
also got fucking the skeletons in the wheel chasing me, so it's kind of hard to like.
He brings in a wheel skeleton into that fight.
Sometimes he
Oh
didn't do it
my
every time.
god.
He does, but like it happened. I want to say it happened twice.
No, no, Fajon, stop right there. I don't think I ever encountered a wheel skeleton in that fight. The fact he brings one in at all means that fight is ass.
Yeah,
Fuck that fight. A
Isaiah
wheel
was there.
skeleton shows up at all? Fuck that fight.
Listen,
Yes,
I
someone says
literally
themselves.
Isaiah.
No.
I'm gonna tell you this. I was fighting him, and two of the regular skeletons pull up,
Mm-hmm.
and Isaiah legit says, "Now you should be able to kill these guys, but what if one of the wheel skeletons?" And I shit you not, like mid sentence, I just get Beyblade from across the.
Yep. Yep.
I got Levi Ackerman coming at me.
Fucking spinning like a motherfucker. Yeah, fuck that fight then. I didn't know that. I never encountered a wheel skeleton in my time fighting him.
I'm like,
Fuck
dude,
that
there's
fight.
no fucking. And like, it was like, so two of those times, the wheel skeleton just fucked me up, and it pushed me up against the wall. So
Yep.
he just crawling, he does the attack, and I'm
Yep.
like, well, I'll walk into the darkness, I'm dead. The first darkness one was accident. I just knew I had to avoid the smoke, so I ran back there, and I was like, oh, the darkness kills you. The second time, it was like, I was like, if he comes up this far, what the fuck? You're just dead.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Yeah, that's Walner, Sage, and Deacons are absolutely probably yeah, I think we can say for certain not not good fights. Not good fights.
Now Vort,
Fort was alright.
and I'm gonna say this, Vort felt I cannot remember her name from the Elden Ring DLC. She has I think her name starts with an M. She's a knight. She has the two swords, and it does the
Melania?
stance.
No, that's
It starts with an M.
the third moon.
Yeah,
Or the
her.
second moon.
I can't remember, but she
Yeah.
like I don't know why, but I don't know if it was how the arena.
Oh, Faison, you cut out. I,
Essentially,
there you go. Wait, no, hold on. You
remind me of her.
wait, hey, Faison. You're cutting in and out pretty bad for me.
Oh, I was saying, can you hear me now?
Yeah. You just have to repeat like your whole point.
Okay, I was saying I don't know why the Vort fight reminded me so much of her. I don't know if it was the arena. Oh, but it reminded me of like, okay, this is your real introduction into how these fights are gonna work. And I was like, okay, cool. These seem like the Elden Ring S bosses. These are what I know. I could probably do this. And then every other boss fight was after that. I was like, you gotta fight 5 motherfuckers.
I will say so the thing with my thoughts on like the boss variety is like I feel like Elden Ring so all the Souls game most of the Souls games do it a lot where you'll have a boss at the beginning of the game that is then turned into a regular enemy towards the end. DS1 does it with 2 to 3 bosses where it's like, oh, you're fighting a Taurus and a Capra demon. Those are bosses at the beginning of the game. And then towards the end of the game, you enter a certain zone, and those are just enemies that you just fuck up.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that shows like progress.
scaling.
Yeah, it's a really good demonstration of scale, right? Elden Ring did a thing. I don't think it does it very well because I think you fight
what the gods and nobles.
well, those motherfuckers. But I was actually thinking more of like the ulcerated tree spirits and the Erd tree avatars.
Why?
I
Don't
think you
this?
fight them too much for me to. I think Elden Ring has a boss bloat,
I can see what you mean.
and I think
But-
the bosses in Dark Soul and DS3 but it's the difference between open world and like a straight line, you know?
So going back on that, I can see what you mean. Why you feel like you fight or not, but that didn't bother me because they felt. I knew that familiar that same enemy type,
Mm-hmm.
But it was clear that each zone you went to, those fuckers got stronger. Like you weren't. It wasn't like you were fighting the exact same one, and you were also getting rewarded
Eh.
for fighting each one. At least in my opinion, it's like at least in my opinion.
I
So
think
like,
I think I think an enemy getting a boss health bar every time they show up and doing more damage doesn't doesn't make for good progression.
feel that.
Like
But
they all have the same move set. You always kind of know what to expect. The only real
well,
difference is when
route
one
ones,
is
yeah,
pooping rot out.
yeah. Actually, yeah. That I can see what you mean by that.
It's
I feel you on that one.
like I think overall, I think I fought more. And the reason I even bring it up is because when I think of all the bosses I fought in DS3, I
Hmm.
think there are more individual, unique fights there. And I feel like I fought the same amount of repeated boss fights in Elden Ring as I did like unique, bespoke fights. Like if I could, I feel that way, but I'm sure I'm wrong. I don't think there were that many ulcerated tree
I
spirits
think it was
and
like
Erd tree avatars with a boss health bar.
with the ball self bar.
Yeah,
I can remember I can remember off the top of my head 6.
of
I might be honest
both,
with you.
both
The
or one or the other.
no the okay the ulcerated tree spirits. I can remember 3.
Oh, there's so many more
Uh,
than three.
I can only remember 3.
Oh,
There's
wait, no,
one when you first get into there's one like past the Sentinels.
right.
There's one in the volcano area,
Oh, and the
and there's
watchdogs,
one
those fucking statues,
oh, okay.
and the
So
watchdogs. There's just
okay,
too,
okay, I see what you
there's
mean.
too many like regular ass enemies that just get a health
That get
bar, and I feel
so
like
you're not
I don't have enough like interesting bespoke fights to counteract the just like here's a regular ass enemy with a boss health bar.
so you're not saying is that the fact that they're there to fight you. You're saying that does every one of them need a health bar, about ball health bar.
Yeah, like I feel like I don't even know what point I'm trying to make, to be honest. At a certain point, I'm just complaining about this one aspect of Elden Ring. But like my time with DS3 reminded me that like if we want to talk about bloat boss fights or like boss fights that didn't need to be there, they should have. Elden Ring has so many more of those right off the bat because of the
Yeah,
dungeons and because of the dungeons and the catacombs and all that stuff. And to be fair, it's
you get
not fair
rewarded
to
for
bring
that.
it up because this is an open world game versus a linear game.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I don't have any other frame of reference to give you for a Souls game. You know, you haven't played any of the other ones. Like if you
Okay,
played Lies of P or like something like that, like that, there's something I can go with, but like I got nothing here with Elden Ring.
I, I I can respect that. Um, now now that we have the poopy bosses out
Hold
the
on,
way, and we're going to the second half.
Cheerwine,
Oh,
please, please send me Cheerwine.
uh, now that we
Oh,
have the poopy bosses out the way, at least for me,
everyone, I think for everyone.
half I would say, uh, what's it called? I don't want to butcher this. The place once Irothel.
Yeah, Irithel.
I would say anything you encounter, at least for me personally, everything I encountered from
Post
Irothel,
post post
post
catacombs.
Irothel, yeah, post catacombs, fucking beautiful. Yorm, he was a gimmick fight, but I felt a sense of danger. He was a fucking amazing. Plus, they don't put the freak. So when you fight the serpent in Elden Ring, they put the spear right there.
Yeah,
So when the first run with Yorm, I was over there whacking his toes with my exile sword. Like, why is this guy? And like right before I died, to see something glisten in the back, I was like, oh, it's one of those.
oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's
Yeah.
but it's sitting right beside his chair. It's not so you could really honestly probably you there's probably been people that have went in there
Mm-hmm. Then you got the
and
shit
not
rock
seen that and got their shit rock have been whacking away. It's probably but I wonder what the percentage of people that have beaten Yorm is
with the storm
or
lore.
have stopped at Yorm.
Because
And I
yeah,
can
yeah.
guarantee it's because they don't know that weapon exists. They
Yeah.
just-
I think that's a good. I think that's a good. That'd be an interesting metric for sure.
because with the serpent, it's like when the serpent in Elden Ring, it's literally like you walk in and it's literally right there. You
Yeah.
just grab it and you start throwing. But
One
Yorm,
of
and
Gideon's
then
guys is like, take this shit.
yeah, pretty much. But him is like, oh yeah, you see that giant motherfucker sitting on that throne right there? Go take that sword from him.
Mhm. You want to know the funny thing? That if you had done Sigmire's quest line, he would walk in with his own storm ruler and help you in the fight.
Oh yeah, that was a cool part.
Okay, I have a
Because
question.
there's two.
Why do I have two?
Why do you have?
I had two.
Because you probably killed Sigmire. Sigward.
Who's the?
Guy in the onion armor.
Oh yeah, I did kill him. You remember when?
You killed Onion Bro?
Wait. Okay, so
Oh, Alex, this motherfucker has killed so many NPCs, and his path through the game has been bullshit.
okay, dude, does the congregation want to hear? I gotta scroll up.
Congregation.
Does the congregation of Souls game want to hear my Dark Souls 3 boss?
I think you should list the order. I don't think Alex will probably get some of it and be confused, but like for everyone, you should absolutely read out your boss list order.
Okay, but let's start off how I got here. So
How I got here.
I killed an innocent old lady
Yep.
and Dark Souls by accident.
Yep.
She did nothing wrong. I was alt tabbed.
Smack the
I
shit
have
out
a
of her.
I have a funky controller, and when I alt tab back in, its first reaction is to swing, kind of defense mechanism. I don't know.
Defense mechanism.
Oh, you fought the ballerina
and-
first.
No,
Not first.
Wait a minute. Not first.
Not
But
first.
I
First,
killed
but,
her.
like,
Honestly, I probably could have
Yep.
because I just didn't have the IQ to walk. I just didn't walk to the back of the shit.
No,
I'm not gonna
Alex, here's the funny thing. So, Fajon,
lie. Here's the
you
order.
yeah,
Okay.
give the order real fast, and we can go from there.
So here's the order of how I play Dark Souls.
Bosses.
Bosses for up until Aldrich, not counting other bosses later on in the game. It went Vorts, Abyss Watchers, Roddick Greatwood. There's a Crystal Sage, Worldnear, the Deacons, Dancer, Yorm, Osiris, Pontiff, and then Aldrich.
Look. That order,
And I got told that was so wrong.
not wrong. Okay, I want to stress that. You weren't
it's interesting,
Yes,
but not wrong.
you weren't incorrect. There's no correct order, but for your first time through the game, the fact that you fought Dancer before beating the 3 accessible Lords of Cinder is fucking funny and weird.
So, yeah, don't smack old ladies because my boss. So, I never got teleported back to Irithyll.
Yep.
I mean, back to the church where the old lady was. I never got teleported anywhere, because I just kill a lot of shit either accidentally or just because. Here's my rule: if you want to live in any of these games, don't have the ability to drop me anything. Okay?
Yeah, this is yeah.
Here's the thing. Hold on. I have a question though. How do you know they're gonna drop something before you kill them?
Because you could just
Because what?
you know how you're saying you feel like there's more unique bosses and so I feel like there's more unique characters in Dark Souls that I can kill that will more than likely drop me something.
Yes, this is fair. This is fair. I will say I remember this conversation specifically because we were in a Discord call with other people and you were explaining this factor that you have discovered about yourself, and I think my response was, I pray to God I don't have shit to drop if we ever encounter in a Dark Soul world, because I'm fucking dead immediately if he thinks I do.
Like if I could look at you and tell you're a unique character or monster or enemy, you're
over.
probably
It's over.
dead.
It's
like
absolutely over.
like the odds of you living depend on if I'm talking to you, because I'm gonna talk to you first. If I talk to you and what you're offering later on sounds like you have an extension on your life, because I'm probably still gonna kill you. But
It was just so funny to hear that like beat Dancer and Osiris, and then went back and killed Yorm and Aldrich.
but it was so funny because like I fought Onion Gang. That's what I'm gonna call you. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call
It's
it
fair.
Onion Gang.
It's fair.
But so I would say the reason I killed him because Connor told me that when I was fighting him that he would come help me,
If you just wouldn't
and I
discuss
said,
them.
yeah, and I said I want to try to fight him by myself. Ended up killing him, and I say, hey Connor,
Yep.
where's that guy you was talking about? Oh, he's up on such and such. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Because I do remember him standing outside and he like disappeared and I didn't see him no more. So I was like,
Up the elevator.
yeah, I was like, he got some pretty cool. He had some pretty cool armor. From when I saw him, let's see if I can get that. But I ended up fighting
Hold
the.
on, wait. You looked at his armor and thought, man, that looks cool.
I
No,
thought at least he had a cool weapon.
no shade at Sigmar, at Sigward, but
Wait,
like
wait, not the entire set, but the helmet. I just wanted the
the
helmet.
onion helm. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So and so after I fought I forgot what it was called, the little demon that was there at the fire. When you go up the lift and you talk to him, he was like, "Oh, maybe
Oh
we
yeah,
should wait. Maybe we should kill him." So after I killed him, I was like, "Okay, brother, it's time to
it's time for the
it's
time for the
time to,
betrayal.
yeah, time to pick up your sword."
Did you even
So
get a sword?
yeah, the Storm Slayer.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you.
That's how I had two. That's
No,
how
no,
I
no. I
had
thought
two.
you also. I thought you were talking about the Zweihander. I don't know if you got that from that fight.
I did
Killing it.
not.
Okay, then it's probably somewhere else.
So I was just wondering. I was just curious. That just to answer your question on why I had two.
You killed him.
But yeah, yeah, I killed him. I took it. But yeah, so I would say after Aerodale, everything felt more Elden Ringy. I don't know if that's I
More.
don't.
I think the feeling overall for like these unique boss fights is they definitely got more bespoke. They definitely got like the individuals you were fighting were more interesting.
Yes,
I
I
think is the bigger
agreed.
thing. Yeah.
So Pontiff didn't really talk. He was just there.
Yeah,
But
he slow walks at you and
yeah,
then he makes a fucking
he's not a talk.
stand.
Yeah. So like I think that pretty much sure most of the bosses in Elden Ring talk, like the main bosses aside from the dragon and Radon, he just yells at you.
Yeah.
But for the most part they talk and they give you like some monologue about
Yeah,
who they are, yeah.
sometimes.
Um but even still like he felt like an Elden Ring boss. Like the after image thing. I don't know if that's the correct word to use for what he does,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that was some cool shit. I was hoping that was like in my mind. I was like, man, that would make a cool actual war, which it is.
I
It
know
technically
you
is.
wanna know the funny thing about it? It's not an after image, it's a before image. If you look at it. Because
Yeah. Well,
the thing the
there you go.
ghost does,
That's
then
what he does
Pontiff
after.
does, and I thought that was really interesting that it was before, not after.
So that felt like a well thought out fight, and they put time into like how was this enemy gonna work, and I genuinely enjoyed that one. Uh, he was hard to find, I will say, because like you said, I don't explore enough.
Oh, okay. You
So
didn't find the
I didn't
door?
know that. I didn't know the no. I didn't know the. I had to walk. I don't actually was. I don't know if it was him or Aldris. I had to go through that little like. It's like a little puddle pond type thing. You got to go underground into like a sewer area, and it's like.
Oh, yeah. That's
Right.
him.
Yeah, I did. I
That's him.
wasn't really okay. So I didn't.
Yeah,
I missed
I
some.
remember you telling me I got to Yorm and I don't know where to go anymore because you didn't look through like the sewer
Yeah.
area.
You said, how did you fight Yorn before? That's how we got on the topic of how the dancer. To be honest, of Well, did I? How did you fight the dancer then? Oh, that's how we got on the topic. I almost died on my gum.
I
Uh,
got lost. Didn't know where to go, so I went back to the beginning of the
you
game.
said, and your response was your question was, "How the fuck did you beat Elden Ring?" I
Yeah.
ran that
Well, you know
shit.
what? Not even how did you beat Elden Ring? It's like, how did you even see half the shit the game had to offer? That map,
What?
probably that map.
Yeah, the map.
The
So
map,
I
map
will
is
say
huge.
that. So that's another thing I didn't really say beforehand. Why is there no fucking map? I get why, but like why? I feel
Yeah.
so like at least of the area, like they could have done an area map for each.
I will say maybe it's something with like, because I know, and this is like super like after the fact for DS1 and 2. So people have made like level maps, like 3D models that show you how every area is connected.
Uh-huh.
But like
It doesn't make sense.
in DS1 it does make sense. In DS2 it doesn't make sense. Like if you look at like an area map, like shit is like actually within each other. So that might play a little bit into it, but in
Which that may make sense because some of the if you switch over to, for example, the High Wall of Lothric,
yeah.
it's in a completely different tab from where you go to fight the princess at.
Yeah, well, so that might play a little bit into it, but I think the biggest God, that fucking shot. Oh
It's
my
so beautiful.
fucking
Oh
God.
my god, I looked
What
at
a
it at the
money
same time.
shot. So I think the biggest thing with like the map idea is like usually when your game is more or less a straight line, you don't kind of want to have a map of that because then you're checking a map and seeing the path to take, you know?
Yeah.
Like with Elden Ring, because it's open to begin with, having a map is fine because you can see all the stuff you didn't
Yeah.
explore. Whereas with a map in Dark
I'm
Souls, you see how little there is to explore.
I remember when I first played Elden Ring, like just the fact that you said I first played it, I thought Caleb was the end area.
Oh yeah, that makes
Just
sense.
because of how cuz I went backwards instead of going
Of course you did.
towards Mark. I ended up towards Radon before I got to Margaret, and I was like, yeah, I
What?
can clearly. Yeah, I was like, I don't fucking need to be here. Everything was killing me in one shot. That's the no.
Well, also, I mean, it does feel like the ending of a game because you go there and the fucking sky turns red.
Yeah, and there's a
It's like, well,
fucking
shit.
crow like looking over the horizon.
Yeah, the
Like,
T
yeah, you
Rex
walking
crow,
here, you're dead. You walking here, you're dead, son.
the pterodactyl birds for sure.
Oh,
But yeah, that's all I.
What?
I remember.
That's all I really
Okay.
have that I can think of right now. Other than that,
Did I have
second half
notes?
of the game just fucking beautiful. The first half again is probably me thing since I went backwards. Leaves a sour taste in in my mouth just a little bit. That's second.
I think that is a fair criticism of this game for sure though. Like that beginning section, like I think if you're coming to this for the first time, like this is your first Souls game, it absolutely doesn't grab you. Like I don't think those fights are very engaging or fun to deal with for
Yeah,
any build. I
like
don't
I
think they're fun.
honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. Between like us doing this for the podcast
Mhm.
and the Exiled Greatsword. It wasn't for if it wasn't for us doing this
Carried
as
from the
for a podcast
fucking.
and that weapon just like making things a little bit more enjoyable for me because I can just like I don't have to
You could just hit
I
shit.
can just swing I can just
Yeah.
hit shit and hitting shit is always fun.
Yeah, hitting shit is fun.
So like if it wasn't for those two factors, I was like I do not like. It's probably I legit do not think I probably would have less. I probably would only be not be as far as Atlas right now. I'm so serious.
No, I think yeah, I think that's really fair. Like
I don't think I would have beaten the game by now.
For
The base game.
this
if
game.
yeah, if you weren't like just having to play it for content.
Yeah, if it wasn't for content, I don't think I would have beaten the game by now.
I think that's fair.
And nor do I think I genuinely think I would have stopped in the catacomb little
I
area where we're at now. Wait, right before this.
I will say I think that does beg the question. Like for this show specifically, do we even want to put? Do we even want to ever put DS2 or DS1 on the list, or do we want to do um Souls likes like a Lies of P or like a Black Myth Wukong?
I don't. For the sake of my Zoomer brain, I don't think I can handle it.
Your Zoomer brain.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I mean like
this I not because I genuinely it still felt a little bit like Elden Ring. Some of the stuff you told me about the prior two games
yep.
and how
Hmm.
certain mechanics work, so on and so forth, I would probably lose my mind.
Yeah. I think like from because I'm pretty sure I've told you this before. Like having now that you've played this, if you went and played Elden Ring, you would be able to go, oh, that's that enemy from DS3 that they just brought forward and changed the skin
Yeah, oh
on.
yeah, I can definitely see
Yep,
that. You told it's a lot of, especially the skeletons. A lot of the stuff in here, it felt like
it's the same
okay,
shit.
these are just Elden Ring reskins.
DS3.
Oh yeah, DS3 reskins.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, like there's so much that got brought forward, but like if we went back to DS, not even if we went back to DS2, like I've told you the stuff with like adaptability and having to put points into a
Yeah,
stat to
points
make
into
your
that.
roll
Yeah,
better, to
yeah,
make your
that
drink your Estus faster.
like I
Like
don't. That's something I would not want to do. I literally just want to pump strength, endurance, and like
it's
and maybe some
it's
few other
rough.
stuff so I could try some spells that maybe help boost my strength even
Yeah,
more.
and like,
I
dude,
don't.
and honestly, like when I talk about like this as an homage game to like basically a love letter to DS1 and 2, I think DS2 has way more on the nose references to DS1, and that it's like a sequel, and it actually feels way worse in terms of like what it's trying to
Well,
make reference to.
so I saw like some short form content that said that two was I don't know if it was two or three. One of it was either two or three. They weren't developed by the original
A two.
or two.
Two is
Okay,
two is different people, but like
so I heard
people who were in a position uh
that
who worked on DS1 moved up and then worked on
yeah,
DS2, but it wasn't like
one got fired, right? I
I
heard
don't
one
know.
got fired.
I don't know the
That's what at least that what I was watching. It started off as oh, it was both of those. I guess it's pro the is it me Miyazaki? I don't want to butcher his name.
Miyazaki.
I'm just letting yeah
Miyazaki.
Miyazaki.
me. It was like his
Okay,
protege son. And
like
he
you're
was
a
like, yeah,
fucking
y'all walk on.
you're a suit,
Y'all
you're a weeb. You can't say Miyazaki.
sometimes I'm. It's the gum, man.
It's the gum. Okay.
I'm so our from essentially what that short said was like, oh yeah, these are basically his proteges, yada yada yada. They was supposed to work on them. It was going in completely different directions. With both of them working on them. I don't know neither one of the names, but one of them got fired and he took over, and he wanted to keep it as homage as possible to his master with like references and shit
Mm.
to the original game, but he still did his own thing, which from what you're saying is he did his own thing.
Yeah, there's like there are things about DS2 that make it unique to itself within the Soul series, like between the three games, but I don't I don't think DS2 is like an incredible Souls game. I think it tries to do its own stuff a little too much and doesn't try to
Do it
like
well.
it does the unique things it wants to do well, but in terms of just like bosses that you fight, some other stuff, weapon durability, all that type of like there's a lot of little things that just add up to me going I would rather not play it again despite its
O-
uniqueness.
Okay, speaking of weapon durability,
Yeah.
and this is the last thing I want to talk about because that you said it and it popped in my head. This is the last night when I asked you, how does that even work in the game? Because
Don't
I
worry about
saw
it.
my Exile Great Sword had it. I lost no. I used that thing that pretty much the
Um,
whole game. And
it
like,
it resets every time you sit down.
oh,
Like it fixes itself basically.
so it's not really.
It's I don't know why it's there. I think there's
It's
like
just there to be there.
I think there's certain weapons that get affected
Break fast
more.
as fuck.
It's certain weapons like boss weapons when you do their like special move that they have sometimes it
Oh,
uses weapon durability as like the cost to it.
what you're saying is my Dragon Slayer ass is probably
Oh
probably cooked.
no because depending on like the type of weapon like if you look at the great axe
Uh-huh.
the you would assume durability on that is high, and it probably is. Like it's like looking at a rapier and going the durability on a rapier probably isn't very
Okay.
high. You know,
Okay.
it's reasonable with it.
Okay. Well, I was like that. This I was like, what is the point of this mechanic? Because it seems
Yeah,
like
don't worry
it
about dirt.
never. Yeah.
You don't need to
Okay.
worry about it most of the
Yeah,
time.
that's it for me. That's really it for me.
I don't have
What about you?
me personally
Yeah.
haven't gone back through it again. I think the boss, the variety, like the uniqueness of every single boss was really refreshing to see again.
Uh-huh.
Coming from Elden Ring, like even in like the DLC for Elden Ring, going through the Elden Ring DLC felt closer to a Souls game in terms
Mhm.
of unique fights per zone that you would go through. Even the dungeons even
I
had
w-
like
I
unique
will
fights.
say, yeah, I can say that the DLC, I can say the DLC felt closer to this
Hmm.
than this felt to the base Elden Ring game.
Okay, yeah. I think I get what you mean. Yeah, there's definitely more zones that you go through that are a lot closer that you have to just deal with as you move through them. But
It felt honestly that DLC was long as shit. That could have been a whole separate game itself. Just change some character
oh
names
yeah,
around.
I mean, hey, $40, good
Yeah.
price. Oh, Alex, I see you pointing fingers. What's up?
I found Horus.
You found him. How'd that
You're
go?
playing right now?
Yeah, he's been playing.
I've been doing this entire time.
He's been playing this whole time. His little Steam thing popped up on my bottom right, and I was like, okay, this is fine.
I don't have outlets at it.
I mean, because you guys are talking more about the lore stuff, which I don't really remember or really know about, so I
No.
can't really contribute in that regard. But like me playing through it, I'm, I guess you could say I'm trying to keep pace with what's going on with up there, because I keep I'll peek up, but I'm not even in there. I'm still in fucking lava land.
Oh, did you go downstairs? Oh yeah, you went downstairs. Yeah, you went to deal with Horus. That
I,
area is optional. You can just come back to that shit later.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of areas,
Yeah, that
outlets
that
that
worm scares the shit out of me, and I feel like that's a reference to like
Oh.
Armor Core 6.
I killed the
Shut up.
worm on accident.
You
There's
mean Armored Core 6 is a reference to the worm?
Yes. The other way around, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's if you kill that worm, you get a miracle if you're running magic at all. I don't know
No.
I don't know why it does, but it does.
Connor,
Yeah.
was the alligator not supposed to jump off the bridge?
Fucking god. What do you mean?
He jumped.
He jumped off for you?
Yeah.
What the
Who jumped
fuck?
Oh, that thing jumped off the bridge?
Yeah. So it went to. Do
I'm
the
over
fucking-
here
the
trying
little-
to punch it to death, and then for you it's just jumping off the side.
Dude, so I
Fuck
got like
you.
2 hits in, and it scared the shit out of me. And then it like jumped into the little wide mouth thing, and it just. Whoop.
Oh my fucking god. Did it die?
Yes.
That's so frustrating. It's
is
so
that supposed to be
frustrating.
possible?
No, it shouldn't be. Damn it. Fucking YouTuber luck.
It's like the Knight Rider what's it called?
No, that's different.
yeah.
That bridge doesn't have barriers on
Yeah.
part of it.
No, dude, he did the little shit where he does like this.
Yeah.
He just soars. He just that what he did. He just soars off.
And you were just at the perfect angle. God.
Bruh.
And here I am trying to fucking punch it. God.
I was like, I thought I was like, maybe I accidentally did like some S tier pro strat glitch, and I was like, oh yeah, Connor's gonna do it too.
Hell,
I'm waiting
no,
for.
that's just not real. I will say, if you don't fight it and you just go past the barrier, when you hit that water section underneath the bridge, it shows up again.
Oh,
Yeah. There's also a section in Aerithil where it's like hidden behind a illusory wall, and you go down a ladder and you enter this big room, and there's two of them,
oh my god.
and that area fucking sucks, but it's optional, so you don't gotta do it.
Okay, but yeah, I think again from here on, amazing game. Would
I
10
think
out of 10 would play it again.
I think the statement I want to get from you real fast before we kind of call it, if we've all got our feelings out of the way, is like, man, this thing is kicking my ass. And like, how
Keeping in mind here soon enough.
as a full package, just base game, just don't include the DLC until you've actually like beaten it, both of them. As a full package base game, if you went through it, how do you feel? Because I know you said you would have stopped if it wasn't for the content, which I think that kind of speaks well enough as it is. Would you recommend this to
I,
people? Is what I guess I want to get to. Is this a game you would say you should give this a shot, but here's the caveat
I
of the front load.
okay, with the knowledge I have now,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I would recommend it to people.
Would you recommend it to people who haven't
Well,
played other Souls games?
as their first Souls games.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'd say-
I think this is the easiest first time Souls game for people to get into because you
I
can't recommend DS1 anymore to like a new generation of people.
do
Not the remake.
Not a remake.
or FromSoft Souls games
From Soft.
I would recommend Elden Ring.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Like
Just skip the
eh,
trilogy as a whole.
in a heartbeat because and I'm kind of I'm happy I started there, but at the same time I'm not because I got here, we started playing here, and it was a lot of like gripes I had that made me not enjoy it. Like again, the loosely transportation system of how if I die, I got to run through all these bosses to get well, not bosses, all these enemies just to get back
Yeah.
there.
I think
How
I think that
how
does hurt a
how
lot.
how obscure and vague some of the stuff is. Like
Yeah.
with like finding where areas are sometimes like a lot of like if I'm looking at this from a casual gamer that wants to try these types of game, I would not recommend this shit.
You want to know?
I'm-
You want to know an interesting thing that I just thought about that I didn't really consider before? Like, so I don't think they were out, or no, maybe was Lies of P out before Elden Ring?
No,
No, after.
I think that
It came out after.
yeah, it was
How
out.
long
I
after?
think that
No,
was like
not very
I
long,
think that
right?
was an alpha, and it was like a year.
It was it?
I think they had like a. I think they announced it like after Elden Ring had its huge success for a while, and like they announced it after, and it came out. I think they saw what they were up against in the Soul Draw, and it was like, okay, we need to work on this a little bit longer, and then it came out.
Then I gotta think because I'm trying to remember and I don't think it is there, but like those like Lies of P and Black Myth Wukong coming out a fair amount of time after Elden Ring and not having the checkpoint system, like focus it like those games are closer to this
Yeah.
than
I
Elden
wouldn't
Ring.
even
And
recommend.
I think that's an interesting thing because Elijah P and Black Myth Wukong are really good games.
Yes.
But I think the issues you're having are an interesting carryover to the influence that
This game had.
that Dark Souls have had.
Yeah. I think here's what I say. I feel like Elden Ring, and part of why it did so well and it is doing so well compared to all the other Souls games in comparison.
Yeah.
Is because of not because From what I'm saying, you're saying it's probably harder. Like the boss fights and whatnot are probably are harder. Like
In
you,
this,
I don't know. No, in Elden Ring.
I think at a point, yeah. I think if we're
Yeah.
talking about bespoke fights, I think Elden Ring has harder fights for sure.
So the fight, even though a chunk of the fights are harder than like previous games, from
This
at
fucking
least from what I
shit keep
know, from
dragging
what I've
on.
heard, I still feel like it's more. I think they understood that like, okay, people are gonna buy this. We have a base audience that's gonna buy this, and
Yeah.
they understand that our games are supposed to be hard. Like they're not. They're supposed to be challenging,
Mm.
right? But we still want to have this
Casual
be
appeal.
a good entry for people that want to play any of the games we drop and
Hmm.
not feel overwhelmed.
Um, I think I'm gonna have
And
okay. I'm
hold,
gonna.
hold on, I'm
I
saying
don't
this
want to
wrong.
strongly disagree with that statement because Elden Ring is way more overwhelming as a first time
Well,
experience.
hold on, I'm saying this wrong.
Okay.
I for them, overwhelmed was wrong choice of words.
Okay.
To come into this game
Mm. This game.
and be able to learn what this genre is about without it feeling condescending almost.
I think.
Because there was a video. Okay, so there was a video I watched. It was a while ago, where this guy had his girlfriend or wife. I don't remember which one. He had
Probably X
her
now.
play. He had her play Dark Souls 1,
Oh God.
and then he had her play. He had her playing both. He had her play Dark Souls 1. She wasn't a gamer, wasn't really a thing. It was he wanted to like he just wanted to do an experiment. He
Mm-hmm.
had her play Dark Souls 1. She could not get past the first boss,
Yeah.
and after like
And when you say
I think
that, I know you mean Asylum Demon, which is like,
yes.
I bet she didn't run through the doorway away from the fight.
Well, see, well, he didn't want to mess with her. He didn't want to like
Correct.
mess with her experience. So she didn't know what you can do. She wasn't reading any of the little signs,
Yep.
the little or anything like that, right?
Okay.
So she after like 2 days, she was like, "Yeah, I'm done," right?
2 days.
So he came back.
Damn.
Yeah, she was like,
Fucking props to her.
"Well, no, what? No, no." Two.
Fuck.
After
Two
like
days.
she tried. She tried. She was legit trying. I think he said after like 16 hours total both days, she was like, "Yeah, fuck that."
Yeah.
So they came back. I think he came back. He said then we came back. I think it was roughly like a month later. He was like, "I wanted to try this experiment again, but with something I felt was more casual friendly, which was Elden Ring."
Right.
And she started playing whatever. Right? She fought the tree sentinel, but she had that optional where like after a while, when she realized she couldn't beat this thing, she has all of this out here where she can be like, I'm gonna come back to this,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
what she did.
Being able to turn left and right and have an open field is a huge difference compared to these games where you look left and right and it's a fucking wall.
Yeah. So
Yeah, see, Alex gets
Alice
it.
does it. Alice
I
Alex,
got carried by a headless skeleton.
correct answer. Don't fuck with them when they got the swords up.
What? He only had one.
Yeah, I bet he's holding. I bet he's holding like this too. He's holding that shit sideways.
Yeah.
That's a
he's
kill
like,
shot. That's a
"Oh,
kill shot, Alex.
But yeah,
I have a fuck ton of health for this
it's
reason.
okay. It's okay.
Thank you,
But
Carl Smoke Ring.
but yeah, she ended up making it all the way. She ended up like looping around, going around whatever, and making up the Margaret, the first fight.
Wow.
And it had like a little summon right there already out the rip that you can do. What
Yeah.
that you didn't have to like go through all of these loops to like have a summon to see what to know what a summon is.
I'm gonna cut this whole thing short and just say, as a blanket statement, From Software is the company that has learned from their previous games better than any other company.
Yeah,
As a developer, they're the ones
Well-
they like from game to game.
they
Their
have
their
improved, I can
their
see.
quality of life is gigantic, but it still keeps the same level of like. There's some shit
Oh, yeah.
here. Okay,
Yeah,
wait,
you
hold
can-
on.
you can get that.
Wait. I saw Alex put his hand up. Right, Cook, go ahead.
All right. So I hear what you're saying, how they improve on quality of life
Yeah.
from game to game. But my stance is, why wasn't this already here when plenty of other games tend to have these systems already in
Well,
place?
this is. But here's I will cut
Oh,
them some
starting from.
slack.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
So
Wait. When did Dark Souls
Uh,
1 come out?
I want to.
2011.
I want. I want to cut them some slack. Aren't they like the founding fathers of this fucking genre?
yes,
With
Well,
Demon
yeah,
Souls?
yeah, yeah. Demon
defined
Souls.
by
So they didn't really know, like, okay, this is probably like, yes, our goal is to make these games challenging, but like we want people to actually play him and enjoy him still. that Maybe that grew was like, okay, we still need to make this challenging more. That's why I feel like some of the later bosses in like in Elden Ring are like way harder than bosses from early games, at least from what I'm hearing people, from what I hear
Yeah.
people say. It's because, like, okay, you made it this far. You played enough of Souls like in our world to know what you need to do. Now we're taking the training wheels off, loosely. We're taking the training wheels off. Go out there and get your ass kicked.
I feel like yeah, the training wheels probably feel like they came off at different places for different people for sure. But
Yeah.
like yeah,
For me, it was legit. For me, I would say training wheels came off.
the tree sentinel.
Not a tree sentinel. Training wheels for no. Training wheels for me came off when it honestly when I fought Godric.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
I would say like the first
Mr. Scream.
Dragon Arm. Yeah, by the time I got to him, because this was my first Souls game, I understood essentially what I needed to do. I understood, like,
Yeah.
so, because I, again, like I said, I already ran back to
You
Cade,
don't think
so
the
I already
training wheels came off for most people, or maybe even yourself at Margit?
no,
Really? Okay.
because because
You're
with
just so good at
Margaret,
the game. You beat his ass.
no, Margaret, I got to him, and
Wait,
I got
Morgott
so
or
by the
Margit? Which one am I
Margaret.
saying? I'm saying the one that you
Morgard. Wait,
on the
Margit is
bridge.
the Margit is the one, or is it Morgard? Morgard. No, that's Moog.
Dude, I fucking hate the
Margit.
names in Elden Ring. I'm sorry.
Margit is the one on the bridge.
Okay, then
But
yes, Margit.
so Morgott is the same person, by the way.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
But
he's the one you fight
later on,
later at the capital
it's him. He just changed a few letters around his name.
for some
But
fucking reason.
yeah. So when I got to him, it didn't feel training wheels. I don't feel came off. It's because, like I mentioned, when you get there, there's literally a summon sign right there.
Yeah,
I
but I
got
feel
there.
like
I didn't.
I feel like summon signs are a trick most of the time because they just make the boss have more health for you.
True, but here's what I say. But I got to him.
I'm listening. I'm just gonna get up real fast.
I got to him, and I didn't. I still didn't know how to use my summons. You know the summons you get where you can summon the wolves or whatnot. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to use the what are they called? The seals. You know how you have like the seals where you can cast spells if you in a faith. I didn't. I still didn't understand how to use those. I didn't understand that, like, oh, I have to have a certain amount of faith or intelligence to be able to use that. And between me and the summons, after like 20 tries, I just beat him to death with the sword. And rolling between the sword and rolling, I beat him. By the time I got to Godric, he was beating my ass so bad. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely doing something wrong. I need to, like, go back to this round table whole shit and see what the fuck is up, and actually, like, look at some shit. And I was like, oh, that's why I can't use a spell. I don't have a fuck. I'm not smart enough for some shit.
I will say
Or
as just a general thing. Because I don't want to. I want to get back to it before I forget because I think it is a important part of the discussion about the improvement over time. Back to what Alex was saying about like that face. What
again.
got parried? All right.
Again.
The
It wasn't even up.
because it came Dark Souls 1 was on the 360. I remember looking it up recently, and it said that it came out in 2011. But I don't.
because I remember playing Dark Souls 2 with you back when we were still in like high school.
No, yeah, it's just 2011 just seems so recent, even for DS1. And I mean, I guess that's just a testament to
Yeah, I
how
feel you.
games have evolved over time.
It
But like,
evolved fastly.
yeah, it's
Honestly.
just God, DS1 is such a fucking. Blech.
Okay, wait, but before I go ahead.
Okay, no, go
I
ahead.
don't know
You
if you want-
finished. Finish. You go ahead.
Before I forget the story how that video went. Essentially, she was like, "Oh yeah, I got this big whole area I can come back to," and after like in the same amount of time she put into fighting that one boss in fucking DS1,
Mm-hmm.
she had already beaten Godric and was like, "Oh, these rolls mean shit." She understood that like
rolls.
she understood that her fucking body weight on like with her armor and stuff actually meant shit, right?
Hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure if you pick a class in Elden Ring, I forgot which class it is. One of the classes is off the rip over encumbered, and they fat roll off the jump. I forgot
Really?
which class. Yes, I forgot which class it is.
Huh.
But if you select that, but the I think they're the strongest. Like after the warrior, I think they have like 1 or 2 more points over the warrior strength.
Right. Okay.
But off the rip with all the armor, I forgot which class it is, but they're over encumbered off the rip. So if you get the character, you're fat rolling off the jump. If you pick that character, you're not gonna know what fat rolling. You're not gonna know that you can roll lighter.
Until you. Okay.
And there was a lot of people that picked that class. There was a lot of people that picked that class because I want to be able to do as much damage as possible. This is something I just learned just watching this general Elden Ring content. There's a lot of people that picked that class that didn't know that fat rolling, medium rolling, light rolling was a thing
Yeah.
until they killed some shit and decided they wanted to try on some different armor. And when they went back to fight something else, they was like, "Hold on, I got some motion.
I got some motion.
motion. I got some motion.
I got some movement.
I got some movement now." So
Okay.
she ended up like learning that fat rolling was a thing, and even just like this is just a random tangent. Casting that fucking first game was Elden Ring. His first Souls game was Elden Ring. He got his ass kicked for so damn long. By the time the DLC came out, he was cooking. It was like from the
Yeah, he was cooking. Fucking blood
Yeah.
build.
Okay.
Fucking
you know what I mean.
gimmicky ass bleed
Gimmick
build.
ass-
The chat saved his ass.
Chat, with the builds, I feel like with the builds they did. I feel like his actual like with the builds, I feel like they did. They be able to beat certain stuff they did. But I feel like with his actual like
Skill.
he wasn't like he like so early. For example, Morse Crew.
I feel like I feel
Go
like my biggest stuff with things like that is like when you're told to play a certain way because that way is easier. I feel like you don't learn, or you
As
know,
much.
you don't internalize a
What
lot
you
of
learned.
a lot of the shit that's happening, or like you don't internalize ways that you can fuck up what's happening. Like, oh, play bleed because it's easier and like it's so good. But okay, now he doesn't know that like these different stats could do all these different things. There's no
Oh, you
learning.
talking about like poison and all this other shit.
Well, it's yeah, there's so many ways to play the game that I don't like. I don't
When you
like
get
I
told
don't
like,
I don't
oh,
like
it's
hearing
the best
people
weapon
get
right now.
I just don't like hearing people get pigeonholed and then never getting out of it. Like with you and the Exile Greatsword. You didn't
What?
know to try anything else until I screamed at you to play with the Dragon Slayer
What?
Great Axe.
It wasn't that I. It wasn't that
I just want people to see more of the game.
I
feel
know
like
what you feel.
when some
In
people
his
get
case-
in the
Go ahead.
way,
One at a time.
it's like when some people start playing a certain way and they enjoy the way they play it, they are less likely to change.
That was with me. In his situation, I feel like he got told like he got to like a roadblock doing what he was doing, and it was like try that build, it'll probably work better.
And then it did, and then he
Which-
never got out of it.
And I feel like so, but I still do feel like he learned stuff because early on when we was playing Elden Ring, when we was swinging, you know what he did? He was always rolling backwards into like every attack. He was rolling away from every attack and still getting. He was like, "Why my roll ain't working?" after fucking 100 deaths
Why
to the
my
tree
roll
sentinel,
not working?
after about 100 deaths to the tree sentinel, you're like, oh, probably better to roll into a lot of these attacks. So he did learn some shit, but in my case, it was like, at least with the Exile Greatsword, legit, it was like I had so many of the Titan Knight shards already stacked up by the time I found it, and I buffed it to like instantly buffed it to like +4, +5. So and I was like, it was like enemies that I was struggling that it was taking me like 6, 7 hits just to kill. They were dying in like one, maybe two, and I was like, oh yeah, this is my shit.
I just,
This is
I
it.
don't know. I just have. I mean, that's probably the curse of being a well-known streamer and playing a game like playing a
True.
Souls game, where it's like,
Yeah.
put your points into this because it's the most cost-effective shit. Uh,
Plus I will also say that my the Exile Greatsword thing was literally just fucking me being used to running like a strength build for majority of Elden Ring,
yeah.
and like
But at the
and
same
learning that
time,
how
it's like you're playing a strength build, but there's so many strength weapons you can at least like
try.
grab and fuck around with.
I did test it a few. I another thing
Yeah, you
I ran
sold
into was
Yorm's
like
great axe for 1,000 fucking souls. Made a fucking unique boss weapon out of a boss soul, then sold it for like pennies.
okay, listen. So
Oh
I will say this. Don't did you say O to B?
no, I just killed. I just murdered Wolner in like less than 2 minutes.
Oh,
Correct.
nice.
Mr.
But
Gotta blow up his bracelets.
Well,
yeah,
the fucking terrible boss.
It's not good.
he is.
It's not good.
Like
Well,
I don't know.
see what
Boss
I mean?
design
See
is-
how bad it is?
now that we're talking about, it, I'm realizing how bad some of these bosses
Yes!
really are.
Yes!
And I'm
Beast-
like, why is this game so highly rated? If some of the
Dude.
if the bosses are so
It's
shit.
the time it came out, and everyone only talks about post catacombs.
See? So far your experience with all these bosses is their fucking shit for the most part. A bitch watcher is
Pretty much,
just
yeah.
the only one
You
that
just
was
say a
like
bitch watchers?
a bitch watcher. A bitch watcher
they
is,
got-
That's
is the
good.
only one.
That's I like that actually. Yeah, that's right.
He's the-
Yeah, sup a bitch watchers.
He's the only one that has
Put it on a
him
shirt.
and Vort. Put it on a shirt. We got to do it.
Another shirt. Get a sticker.
Him and Vort are the only two that are like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah,
But
Vort was
like,
a cool starting.
yeah,
That's
he
for
was a
sure.
good start.
Yeah,
Like
Vort's alright.
he felt like he was a good start. He felt like I said, the chick, the third moon or the tree sentinel for me.
I don't know. I like the dancer a lot. Dancer. Honestly, when you learn the lore of the Outrider Knights, like all of them are like so tragic and like awesome at the same time.
All right, I'm in Boreal Valley now.
Nice. I will say, Fajon,
Good
as,
part
a,
of the game.
as a little like lore thing, the Outrider Knights, they all worked for Pontiff Sullivan, and were basically he made them go crazy and placed them all near, or most of them near Lothric Castle to stop people from being able to go and link the fire. That's why you fight Vort to stop you from leaving. It's why you fight the dancer to stop you from getting into the castle.
Oh, those are the knights.
Those are all Pontiff's people who he sent out to fuck with you. That's why there's one right at the door to Road of Sacrifice. And
Okay.
there's another one in where the two dragons are and that
Right, yeah.
gateway. There's another one there. It's they're super interesting. It's just a shame. It's tragic when you read all the lore
When
is
you're
like in
driving
the
like
rings.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Dark Souls has a really great story. It's just a shit way to convey it. the way the
No,
game does.
I disagree there because the story is not that good. The lore is
I'm
the
sorry,
yeah.
the lore is good.
Yeah, I don't think
The story sucks.
I might be like the outlier on that opinion of like I don't think the plot is all that deep. The plot is literally go touch a fucking fire. Whereas like the lore as to why
Why
you're
you're
going to
touching
touch
the
the
fire.
fire is way more interesting and has way more going on with it.
Yeah, so like
Uh-huh.
we have a game with such a good story. Why are we just like or such a good lore, why does the story suck? That's what I
I
want to
don't.
know.
Why does these early bosses suck and there's
Don't-
not
It's not
Lord
the same.
style
It's not the
bosses at
same.
the start of the game?
Well, they kind of are when you read the
Why is there a
souls.
lady that wants to hug me that's on fire?
Hey, man. She's spreading the word.
Spreading these
You remember
cheeks.
she opens the book and she talks all that shit and then she tries to kill you? I don't fucking know. I can't
I
answer
wish she just-
everything.
I just
Hey,
wish she just
hey,
catches on fire
Vati,
and
help us out
blows
here.
up.
A little bit.
All right, time to get bitch walked by a dog.
All right. Long
Yeah,
story
bring it-
to conclude everything, and then we can go into our little post show because we're running a little over already.
Yeah. Where
So-
were you?
It's I don't even know how we really wanted to end this thing. Was like mainly so you would not recommend this, but you also would not recommend. I guess my final question was you wouldn't recommend DS3 to new people to the series, but when you touch them, like touch Lies of P or you touch like Black Myth Wukong, one of the more recent Souls like, would you also not want to recommend those because they're closer to this? Or do you not know yet?
I think Liza P.
Mm-hmm.
You with that one, and I could give it wrong. I feel like no. Honestly, I feel like any game that any like Souls. If you want to get somebody into a Souls like, or like get them into the Soul genre,
It has to be an Elden Ring
majority of
like.
these like they would have to either have already been playing these and know what it is from the jump,
Hmm.
and they wanted to try a new one or a new one by a different name,
Okay.
a different company. My bad. Or you're gonna have, or like something like Elden Ring where they have the option to like go into avoidance. Because you want to know how learn how to actually fight and roll. You know the fucking Vikings that be on the back of the horses.
Yeah.
I spent like 30 minutes practicing rolling, dodging those fuckers. I'm so serious.
So,
Like, I, like you, I feel like Black Myth Wukong. It's great game, major game, but like between the skill tree and like being and switching abilities and learning what you
Yeah.
need to do and like learning how much I forgot what is how the health system works with like healing or how your guard breaks and all that shit work.
Man, it's so good
No,
though.
if you
It's so deep though. You're not wrong.
if you're like it's so many mechanics in that for somebody to want to start there.
Yeah. I think there's definitely an interesting conversation that I don't think we can like continue to really have. Just I think it would just take too long at this point. Like
Yeah.
the the Elden Ring discussion of because when Elden Ring came out, it was so hyped up because it was the next FromSoft game that everyone was looking forward to. Sorry, I get some fucking stuck on me. That
Yeah.
like people who weren't interested in the Soul series were all of a sudden interested in Elden Ring,
Me.
even though they never touched the Souls games before.
I
And
knew
and
well
they definitely hit a point where it's like it definitely filtered out people of I'm super into this and I'm never coming out. I'm never going to stop. Or I'm absolutely out. I'm never going to play this again. I'm done.
yeah, I genuinely think with Elden Ring, and here's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I like Elden Ring in comparison to Demon Souls, Dark Soul, the whole Dark Soul trilogy, Sekiro.
Yeah.
Um, what's another game they made? So like that's it, right?
It
I've hit
doesn't. I
all.
mean, I get what you mean. You
But
can.
yeah, those are like you you have played these just out of your interest because you heard how challenging they were, and you were willing to take on that challenge,
Hmm.
with whether you had prior knowledge or not.
Yeah.
Elden Ring was like you want to try this genre game and see if you like it.
It's definitely
And
the best place to dip your toe in.
and And if you can beat this one, once those training wheels come off for you at whatever boss they come off with you, hopefully earlier than later. By the time you get to the later part, like bosses like Melania, Malekith,
That's so
fucking
late.
Radon.
That's so late.
By the time, yeah. Oh well, that's super late. What's the earlier one? I'm trying to think of one.
Godric.
Yeah, Godric.
Say Godric. Yeah, that's fine.
By the time it's like by the time you get to fight him at Stormvale Castle. If you're not enjoying your experience or you don't feel like this is something you keep going with
You're not. It's
constantly
not gonna
and
get better.
yeah, it's not going to get better for you. So just either refund or just uninstall.
Yeah. I think. Okay. Yeah. I think we need to wrap up thoughts real fast. Just did.
Yeah, that's it for me. That's it for me.
Okay. Yeah, ending to summarize the point because we got off the point like 50 different
Yeah.
times. You would not recommend people to start
I
with
would not.
DS3. You would rather them
Eh,
start with an Elden Ring and once maybe Elden Ring go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Alex?
I disagree.
Oh.
Oh.
As the fake Souls player coming back into this, and as someone that's played Elden Ring, especially with you guys a couple times,
Co-op mod,
well,
yeah.
Connor and the rest of our people, because I tried Elden Ring alone, and this was like before I started getting the interest in the series, like really as I did, like I currently am now, because I'm actually very interested in Dark Souls 3. I feel like Dark Souls 3 is a better spot to start than to transition into Elden Ring, because there's less mechanics overall, but you get to focus more on the combat and you develop that skill. And then when you go into Elden Ring, you now have your core skill for combat, and then you can kind of expand that with the the War Cries,
Ash of Wars.
Ash of
I do.
Wars, and
Yeah,
all that
I see
stuff. So
what
I
you
feel
mean.
like you can kind of like build it, with Dark Souls 3. I feel like is on the bottom because it is the foundation,
Yeah, okay.
or
I didn't
it
think
could
about
be
it
a
like
small
that. I
foundation.
think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I see what you mean. My only thing was that as for a beginner, I think
There's a lot more quality of life in Elden Ring to help
no, it's not even
beginners.
just. It's
Oh,
not
sorry.
even quality of life stuff. It's more so I felt like there were a lot more tools accessible to me to solve a problem
Hmm.
than there were in Dark Souls. Like I feel like if I'm new, like your solution to Dark, for example, you can own like respecking. You can respec as much as you want to in Elden Ring as long as you find a crystal tier. Here, I think you get four times.
Okay, okay, all right. Here, okay.
And wait,
No, 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 no.
wait.
Hold on. I just want to say. I just want to say.
Oh,
You're right. Those are an item you can get if you play online and do PvP.
okay.
It
All right.
sucks. It's really dumb,
You
but
can find them in the game too.
you can only find like the 4. You c-
Well,
you
no,
you.
because I've killed because I ran into a little situation where I got all four, and this is when you said I should try other weapons. I was just trying shit, and I wasn't really paying attention to that tick where sack. I was like, oh shit. Well, no, I found three. My bad, and I don't know where the fourth one is.
But you got
So
a
I
fourth one.
started. Yeah, I got a fourth one by killing the. I popped one of the little rusted uh coins that helps boost your
Oh,
discovery.
okay.
And if you keep killing two of the
The worms.
no the knights, the dark knights, not the what like skull armor
Dark
around
Wraith.
them.
Dark Wraith.
Oh yeah, Dark Wraiths.
You're my.
Yeah, we lost them.
I know.
Oh.
Now
Okay.
if you
Shut up, Mom. I'm recording.
no, this little sister wanted a fucking bucket.
What the
Um
fucking.
if you keep killing those, there's like a 5% chance you'll get one.
Oh.
And I only knew that because I knew who Fetch Your Life was, and I was like, Fetch Your Life, I need you, bro. Where the
Thank
fuck?
you.
I want to go
Fetch Your
back to
Life is great.
I want to go back to my Exile the Great Sword, dude.
Fix Your Life is fine. I'm not gonna give Fix Your Life huge props. There's some practices we're not gonna get into.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know what you mean.
Okay.
I know.
But yeah, like Okay, that's fine, but that's still like I play most of these games offline because I don't like dealing with invaders and I don't.
Right.
But also, so as the games went on, dev messages started to become more and more a thing. Like there were messages in game that devs put there, not players, and I like to know when the difference because they look the same. I like to know that it's a message placed there by the people who made the fucking game
Yeah.
and not just
I mean,
some.
you can kind of tell from the symbol on it.
I know, but I don't like to fuck around and even like guess. I want.
So you want to know what it is before you look at it,
Yeah, I want to be able to
and
see a
not like touch
message.
here.
Yeah, I want to be able to see a message and be like, okay, I should read that because I usually don't. I should read this because it's probably something of value around this area or to tell me I can make this drop and live. Kind of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. I think. Well, I just think
There
Dark
should be
Souls
more
3 is a good
there should be
spot.
more respec items in the game by default, then I don't have to fucking grind for them.
Yeah, like
I
I
agree.
was thinking. Well, no, that was I feel like okay, just about the only reason I feel like it's better to start with Dark Souls is like you have a lot more tools to help you overcome obstacles that you may face in the game. Whereas like here is like unless you're like me and you're just going around and you're killing random shit and do you progress the game backwards a little bit?
Well, and that's the
You
beauty
gotta
of Dark Souls. You can do that.
Yeah.
but you can also do it at Elden Ring without having to kill NPCs.
Um
I mean, I think you just
Yeah.
want a little murder spree.
yeah.
But my thing is like, yes, Dark Souls 3. It's a little bit. I feel like it's not as forgiving as like Elden Ring was.
Yeah.
If I'm going off of memory,
Yeah.
but I do feel like you can, like, just because you have less options doesn't mean it's a worse time.
That's true.
Like, just because I have 20 options, that's cool. But if I only know of 4, what is that going to do for me?
I think
Because
you know what?
obviously
Yeah.
they're going to
yeah.
be just hit. Like,
Yeah.
yes.
I've
like,
reversed my opinion. I think DS3 is a great place to start. That way you can appreciate the things that Elden Ring does more when you eventually go to it because it's a better game overall.
yeah.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
like, I mean,
I've been outvoted.
it's not an argument.
No, yeah,
It's
I'm
just-
agreeing with you. DS3 is the best place to start.
I can see that. I can see that. I can't argue with that. I can see that.
Plus, it's a
But I
more
can't-
streamlined time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like it's way less hours. Yeah, I can honestly see. I can see that because Elden Ring you can get lost.
Oh, did you see
And
that
never
fucking
really-
drop?
I just saw.
Yeah, that's
I know you-
fucking
Yeah.
That's I've always done it that way. I've always done it that way. I just
What
fucking
the fu-
I lived, bitch.
Where did you go? What the fuck?
What do you mean? I made the drop.
I didn't know
Made
that was
the
a
drop.
thing.
Oh hell yeah. That's how
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you go and
the
get the
way I
Braille
got
girl.
down there, the way I got down there was I got hit with a pot and knocked off, and
Yep.
then it hit the ground, but I didn't take fall damage because I was already like
Nice.
knockdown animation.
Nice, good shit.
Yeah, that fucker specifically. I tried to knock him back,
Hate these guys.
and then his buddy from behind me was like, "I forgot he was there." Just threw a pot.
Totally forgot I lived that drop with like no health.
Okay.
Fucking
Well, yeah.
magic pixel.
I think we covered it, boys.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
we've done well for what we're going through. I mean, Alex still has more to go through.
Yeah.
So when we next meet, it'll all be on Alex to
Yeah,
get
I
his
just wanna, like-
feelings out there.
Yeah, I just want to talk about Alex's like. I don't know what bosses he's going to get complete by the next episode. I just really want to pick his brain on how he feels about the bosses he's fighting.
Yeah.
Cause you're in Erethdor now, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah, I'm in
just made
Aerithel
it.
now.
I will
When you
say,
start
I've,
fighting
I've,
some of the
I've
bosses,
gone
too.
all the way to Pontiff Sullivan, and I think a little bit further than that.
in the past,
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I got to Lothric Castle. Because I remember
You got far. Why did you stop?
Mhm. I got the Lothric Castle. I remember doing a Stormbringer mission or the
Mission.
boss fight where you both have Sig
Yorm.
free come and join you. Yeah, Yorm. I fought the lady that just shoots shit at you in like the castle thing.
What?
It's like when you get into Lothric Castle, that boss.
The sage.
Is it a
Lady,
sage?
lady that shoots shit at you in the archives.
It was a boss from the first one. It was the one that you were talking about earlier.
Crystal Sage.
The
Oh,
Crystal
oh,
Sage?
that's
Yeah.
not even a boss. She's just like
It's
an
not about
enemy in the
it's just
zone.
yeah.
No, but what was the boss fight there?
In Lothric
What's the
Castle,
Boss. Yeah, what's the boss fight in Lothar Castle?
the
The brothers?
Prince Lothric.
Well, no. Okay. Are there? Okay. What's up with the NPCs that also look like they're going to light the cinders attacking me? Because
What?
I met some of those at Lothric Castle. Right?
Oh,
There
oh,
were.
well, those are like they're defending the prince.
Oh.
They're trying to stop you.
What? Okay. Well.
Okay, I did
Are you
kill
saying-
Eldritch. My
Yeah.
first playthrough.
Yeah, I saw that on your Steam
That might have
achievements, and I was like, oh,
All right.
So
Alright.
I mean, for me, it's like now that I'm playing more of it, I'm remembering more and more of it.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
will say if I think we'll eventually talk about trying to figure out if we want to do group streams of Alex's time with the game because Fajon after Fajon beats Ring City because he still needs to go through that. After Ring City, we could always try to like play or have Alex play and have the two coaches there to just
Honestly,
talk about like his time through it.
I mean,
And that
Is it
might
bad
be
that I want to play those two though, like fight the king and play that on my own time.
what?
in two.
Because I
in
feel like
2
I got through this
hours,
pretty
I
fast,
feel like I got decent.
and I kind of just
decent
want to
amount.
like
You did.
take my time fighting those two.
No. I mean, no, Fajon. I mean, you go through the game at your own pace, but if you end up beating everything, you're probably gonna end up beating the DLC and Nameless King before Alex beats the game because he still has a good chunk plus the DLCs.
okay.
Then we
Okay,
could
okay.
figure out if we want to like sit together and criticize him as he plays the game because that's usually
Oh.
what Dark Souls streaming turns into is critiques.
Yep.
Oh, hold
One
on.
more thing.
Got the finger.
One more thing before we go to the post show. Fuck Frida, why she got 3 goddamn
Oh
phases?
yes, yes.
Why? Why?
A-
Why?
Alex, you're gonna have fun in Ashes of Ariandel.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering because I'm like, I don't recognize that name at all.
Oh man,
Oh, my
dude.
Is
bad.
there a reason why?
Hey Fajon, you want? Guess what? Never happens again. Never
Hmm.
happens again.
No more
Thi-
3 phases?
Think of any other fight in any other Souls game that has 3 phases.
That was to say. I have never.
They did it once and went, "We can never do this again."
They
It's like,
like. I know they have.
traumatize the people.
It's so
Bro,
bad.
yeah,
dude.
that bro. It's like. It's not even
And
like.
every phase is real. Every phase is real.
Yeah, it's like. She go from being already strong
Yep.
to being strong and having an ad. That's just fucking annoying.
To be
being
fair,
even
no,
stronger.
I will give that second phase a little bit of credit in that
If
they
you hit
share
both of 'em,
they
you-
share the
yeah,
same life
Yeah,
bar.
they do share hair pools, and especially if you can group them up, because there was instances where I would group them to get like
Yeah.
try to group them
Oh,
together.
you fucking can chunk.
And I was doing like 3,000 to 4,000 damage, like if I used the skill.
Yep, because you hit both of them.
But outside of that last phase, it's
Yep.
like I think Isaiah told you where I was like, I did it. I was all happy.
You
I did
you
it.
popped off. You popped off.
And bro, she came from the depths of hell.
I ain't letting this shit go. I will say, in a very Connor-like way. I remember watching when I was watching you and Isaiah and Bryce play that. I was going, man. I was kind of disappointed when you beat that boss fight and you couldn't get the pot as a weapon.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
And then everyone was like, "Yeah, okay, anyway,
Okay, Connor.
okay, Connor, shut the fuck up."
You hot.
All right.
Alright.
I think I don't. Do we need a post show? I don't think. I don't think.
No,
we
I
need
don't
a,
think we need a
I
post
think we
show.
ran over the initial.
Yeah.
What we
We're-
thought.
we-
Hour and 30.
we are absolutely good. I'm going to call it. So everyone, just say your goodbyes, and I will transition us
Hello.
out. See y'all next week, hopefully.
Free the K to my bones, okay?